What is everybody? My name is Scott Waters and welcome to Life to Metal. It's time for a Rock Metal Update! That's right, it's a Rock Metal Update. Thought I'd get into bootlegs today, live bootlegs. I do have a collection of live bootlegs. It's not like a main focus, except for certain bands I really like. You guys know I'm a huge Aerosmith fan, so I buy up any Aerosmith bootleg I come across. But there's lots of bands, that if I see a bootleg for a decent price, I'll pick up. I love live performances, especially when they're actual live performances. They're not all doctored up. One of my favorite albums of all time, I've shown it before in videos, is this one, and this is not new. This is one I've had for a while, but this is Aerosmith Look Homeward Angel. There's several different versions of this press, but this is one of the oldest Aerosmith bootlegs, dating back to '75, and this one's in pristine condition. Usually when I see these things are tore up, so I've had this one forever, but this is one of my favorite live shows. It's just so raw. Aerosmith were still young and hungry in '75. Toys in the Attic had just come out, so they had this. They were just beginning to gain the notoriety that they would receive from that album. In this performance, you could just hear the hunger in there. The raw, young energy. I can't call them young anymore, but back here they were young. I was in a store in Arizona while I was out visiting Trog, and I found this one sitting in there for 15 bucks. So I snapped it up. It's not quite as in good condition as that one is in. It's still in the shrink wrap, surprisingly, which I'm usually take the shrink wrap off, but I'm leaving it on this time around because it looks like this thing is being held together by the shrink wrap. It's not terrible, but like I said, it's actually pretty clean considering it's a white, cover. You can kind of see the yellowing from the age of the paper. But it's the same show as the other one, but it's just a different version of it. And for 15 bucks, and it's for the rarity of this thing, I grabbed it. Plus, it's on a cool label. This is on the amazing Corny Phone record label. Ask for it by name. Seriously though, there's a lot of great bootlegs out on the Corny Phone label. But I love live, especially 70s live Aerosmith stuff and early 80s. I know they were drug-addled, I know they were, tormented and all that kind of thing, but I think that actually improved their performance back then. It was raw, it was heavy, it was energetic, and I think that's what you get with this bootleg right here. So, just a fantastic album. If you ever see any version of Look Homeward Angel, if you're remotely a fan of Aerosmith 70s stuff, this album is awesome to get. The sound quality, bootlegs, differ in sound quality so much. The sound quality on that one's pretty good. It's an FM radio broadcast, but it is from '75, so it's not going to be, crystal clear digital. But I just love the whole thing. I love everything about it. So this is one I've been looking for a long time, and I finally stumbled across a copy for a decent price. This is 5 The Hard Way. This came out in 1978. This was recorded in Las Vegas, Nevada in '77, and features songs from all of their albums up to that point, including a brand new song called Draw the Line, which for the new album that hadn't come out yet. So very cool. I think what else is on here? I want to know why it's on here. Because '78 was when let's see, '76 was Toys and it was Rocks. '77. Okay, so it was Draw the Line. So I think this was like just around the time that Draw the Line came out. It might have had just come out, but they're introducing all these as brand new songs on this album. So regardless, 1978 release. I can't remember the record label. I have to look at it real quick. A lot of bootlegs. Some of them are like this one, where they come with the, especially some of the ones from back in the '70s. Instead of coming in a, with a printed sleeve, they come with this paper sleeve. This one happens to be glued on. I'm not going to unglue it, but sometimes they're just sitting in there on a white generic sleeve. And usually, almost always, the center rings are wrong or white, or this one's just white. So I had a friend of mine call me one time. He's at a record show, and he found a bootleg of a band. He was concerned because the center rings didn't represent the songs that were listed on the album. And I said that's pretty normal for bootlegs. Matter of fact, let me show you the Corny Phone one too, because you'll see it's who his. See, it just says the name of the label. It says on here is blank, and the names of the songs: 17, Satellite, Feelings, Just Me, Submission, and Nookie, all by Spunk. 1977 is the year they have on here, publishing date. Obviously, that's not the case. This is not the correct songs. That's not unusual for bootlegs. And I think that's because the way they were getting away with it, especially back in those days, is they'd print the vinyl by itself at one factory, listing the names on the center ring as something else, and then they print the cover somewhere else. Otherwise, a lot of the factories would refuse to print the bootlegs because it's illegal to do bootlegs. So that's my theory. I don't know that for a fact. That's just what I've always thought. And then, for some reason, some of these labels are getting away with it these days, and they're putting out very high quality releases. This is Aerosmith as well, Aerosmith, and this is the Hampton, Virginia show from 1987 on the Permanent Vacation tour. They're still playing a lot of 70s stuff here, and they actually played Lightning Strikes with Joe Perry on guitar, which is very cool. And they do, let's see, Sweet Emotion, Draw the Line, Rats in the Cellar, Do This Like a Lady, Big 10-inch Record, Toys in the Attic, Same Old Song and Dance. Before I was thinking that this is a tour that they did Red House on, but I guess it's not on this one. But anyhow, this one I just received. This one I picked up off of Amazon, of all places. It is a double vinyl, and it does have the correct center rings that match the... This is an import, and it seems like a lot of these bootlegs are now coming as imports from Europe, and I'm not sure if it's suddenly illegal there for some reason. And then Amazon's bringing them over as imports, but there sure is a lot of them right now. Like AC/DC bootlegs are just in abundance on Amazon. They just keep popping up constantly, as well as Aerosmith. I purchased several of them. Sorry, I'm getting over being really sick. Just the last couple days, I'm still coughing and dry. So, yeah, Aerosmith. So that's another new one to my collection. This is another brand new one. This one's just fabulous. This is actually a live compilation, so it features two different shows on two different sides. So side A, you've got Pittsburgh, PA, 1976, with songs Symptom of the Universe, War Pigs, Gypsy, which is a song you never really hear live from Sabbath, and Children of the Grave. And then the flip side is Pittsburgh, PA, 78, with Snowblind, Black Sabbath, Iron Man, and Paranoid. And the performance is great, the sound is great. This is a King Biscuit Flower Hour performance. And again, you get let me take it out of the sleeve so you can see it, the custom center rings, and there are no track listings or anything on here, it's just the record label. Black and silver ink, PMS silver ink. So that's cool. I love another brand I absolutely love, and I'll buy their bootlegs up when I see them for a decent price. And again, this one I think was under 20 bucks, and I got it on eBay, and the guy had like 10 copies of them. Might have been right at 20 bucks. So that's right at the edge of what I'll pay for most bootlegs. So this one as well. This one I picked up through Shadow Kingdom Records. They had them. They were gone as quick as they came in. But this is early Black Sabbath, early Rituals, Rugman's Young Club, Dumfries, 1969. The track listing is The Warning, Behind the Wall of Sleep, NIB, Black Sabbath, Wicked World, Blue Blooded Man, Song for Jim with drum solo, and Early Morning Blues. So this is some very early Sabbath, and the sound quality is actually pretty good considering this is a 1969 recording. So I was actually very happy to get this one. Yeah, Sabbath, 1969, really early stuff from them. Obviously before they even put their first album out, because the first album came out in early 1970. And this is made in Luxembourg, 2016 pressing. So that's a really cool Sabbath bootleg too. Both these are really cool. I'm sure they're limited pressing, so they'll disappear as quickly as they come around. Printed on 100% virgin vinyl, made in Holland. This one is claimed to be made in Holland. Who knows if that's correct or not? Like I said, these are bootlegs, so I don't know if you can trust them or not. Alright, I'll put those away later. Alright, a couple more bootlegs I wanted to show off that I picked up. This is actually a pair. And both these are fantastic. They sound good. They're not like... When I say they sound good, I mean it's enjoyable to listen. I'm not saying that these things are... If you're an audiophile, you're going to absolutely love them, because it's not that. These are bootlegs. They're live recordings. A lot of them taken from the radio, so they have compression. Some of them are taken from studio recordings. Some of them are taken from audience recordings. So, but this one here is UFO. Hard Legends Volume 1. This is on Back on Black. This is from Dortmund, Germany, 1980. Fantastic performance from just after Schenker had left the band. 2 record sets. let me show you the records, because I believe these are, it's on a silver vinyl. I don't really care about the color of the vinyl all that much, but it's funny, I was just talking to one of the record companies I work for, and he was telling me that he was thinking about putting all his records out on colored vinyl and no more black, and I'm like, well, I kind of like the black. He goes, is it because it's cheaper or because it's... And I said, no, I don't know, I just always preferred the black. Anyhow, this is on a silver vinyl, and you can see the track listing on one side. Actually has both sides track listing. On the other side is a picture of, is that Phil Mogg? Yeah, it's Phil Mogg, vocalist for UFO. And this is a gatefold. And there you go. So you get Paul Chapman on guitar here. Of course, the Manic Pete Way. Andy Parker on drums, Neil Carter on guitar, and of course Phil Mogg. I'm just a UFO fanatic. I love UFO, especially all the 70s, right up into the mid 80s stuff. You know, all the stuff they did with Chapman, I think was just as good as the Schenker stuff. I know that's blasphemous to some people, but I just like what I like, so I don't really care. And then along with that, this is the Michael Schenker Group, MSG, MSG, Hard Rock Legends Volume 2, Hamburg, Germany, January 24th, 1981. Again, very similar to the UFO set. Obviously, it's part of a series from Back on Black Records, from the Rock Palast Festival. And there's your gatefold, little write-up on the band. This is actually really nice and well done, because I mean, at least the pictures are period accurate. A lot of bootlegs are not. You know, the pictures are just the wrong period. The write-ups are wrong. A lot of times the dates are wrong, but these ones are pretty nice and pretty right on. Yeah. So there you go. Michael Schenker Group, 1981, when Schenker Group was at their prime. They do a handful of UFO tracks on here. Let's see. They do Natural Thing, Rock Bottom, Doctor, and Lights Out are all UFO tracks. All the rest are Schenker originals, Michael Schenker Group originals. So, just another bootleg. At least I picked up over the last few months. I've just been kind of holding on to them, so I had enough to show them in a video. So, yeah, I love bootlegs, especially of bands like this that are my favorites. So, let me know what you guys think of bootlegs. Do you like bootlegs? Do you not like bootlegs? Do you collect them? Do you think it's wrong for a vinyl collector to buy them, or a CD collector to buy them because the band's not getting any money? What do you think? Let me know. So that's it for this video. Appreciate y'all watching. God bless. Stay strong.